Hi everybody. So we are looking at animal welfare and legislation in South Africa. Now I'm going to do it in 3 chapters. If you are only interested in the one particular chapter, then just follow the timeline. So the first chapter, we're going to just look at the NSPCA and their functions. The second chapter will be the legal rights of a SPCA inspector. And the third one will be the legislation pertaining to keeping a wild animal as a pet. Let's look at the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, the NSPCA. Main objective is to serve and protect all animals by putting the emphasis on the upliftment of animal welfare in South Africa, as well as ensure that there's sufficient protection under South African law. But they also, indirectly, they're responsible for the general South African public concerns. And this comes to being when we had a huge egg shortage in South Africa due to avian influenza. Now this is a devastating disease, and culling is considered one of the most effective methods in containing this disease. How did they play their role in this particular scenario? So firstly, they ensured that the culling was done in the most humane method possible. Secondly, they actually campaigned for the need to import the highly pathogenic avian influenza vaccine. And with them as an organization, they can actually get past all the red tape of government that can delay a process. Then the third one was that they actually aligned themselves with the South African Veterinary Association and registered those vaccinations. You can actually report animal cruelty on the website, and they also have some educational resources disregarding husbandry or the upkeep of animals such as chicken, pigs, donkeys, mules, horses, and cattle. These resources are available in Afrikaans, English, Sotho, Tswana, Xhosa, and Zulu. Do visit the website, and obviously they do ask for donations as well. So let's dive into our second chapter, the legal rights of an SPCA inspector. Now, they are guided by the Animal Protection Act 71 of 1962, and specifically Section 8(1)(a) of this act gives the SPCA inspector the authority to enter premises where an animal is kept without a warrant or without having to get an owner's consent. Furthermore, Section 8(4) actually states that it's a criminal offense to obstruct, resist, or hinder SPCA inspector in doing their duty. If they find there is reasonable grounds for an arrest of a perpetrator and the delay in obtaining a warrant will defeat the ends of justice, they can make that arrest without a warrant. Furthermore, the animal in question will also then be seized. Keeping a wild animal as pets. This is where it's the provinces that make the bylaws and regulations. This is not national legislation as yet. So in general, to keep a wild animal as a pet, ownership and conservation permits are needed that you can obtain from your local provincial nature conservation body. It's interesting to go onto the Western Cape government's website. They will actually assist you in obtaining the permits, etc. They ask you which they inform you on the documentation you need, etc. Now there's some provinces such as Gauteng and Limpopo where you don't need any permit whatsoever. The tigers walk amongst us. You need a permit from all 9 provinces if you want to import, export, or transport a wild animal. There are certain species that are forbidden as pets. Such an example is the red ear terrapin, which is prohibited as a pet, but only in Gauteng and Limpopo. And then lastly, should a private individual or an institution place a wild animal on exhibit or want to train them for exhibition, they have to comply with the Performing Animal Protection Act 1935 and have the necessary certification and licenses.